Hello, my name is Patrick Walsh, and the school district I conducted my windshield survey on was the Mapleton Public School District, one of the smaller school districts in Denver at only 25 square miles. To begin my windshield survey, I began by completing the windshield survey components list provided. I researched demographic data, resource locations, and building locations in order to better understand the district. However, as I believe that on-the-ground personal assessment is more important than mere gathered data, I also decided to take a couple of days to explore the area by car. It was a good thing that I did, as much of the data I gathered created false assumptions that were cleared up by visiting the school district. For instance, after looking at the demographic data, I saw that the northwest corner of the district was populated mostly by Caucasian and Asian people, while the southeast corner was mostly made up of African American and Hispanic people. The most prevalent races were Caucasian and Hispanic, with both in equal numbers and making up the majority of the population. Therefore, I assume that the schools located close to those areas would have students' populations sharing similar demographics. Furthermore, I assume that the local communities and businesses would mirror that segregation. As it turned out, I was dead wrong on all counts. In the local community, regardless of location, Caucasian and Hispanic people are present in equal numbers. Even in businesses like this, Panateria, where all of the signs either inside or outside of it are in Spanish, the customers were only slightly more likely to be Hispanic. Furthermore, to outline the deep integration of the community, which, while this may be the front of the building, this was the rear of the building. Lil's Place is a dive bar that serves barbecue, and both of these businesses coexist in the same building and often have the same customers. For me, this was the most striking and unexpected thing about this community. Due to the current political situation in the U.S., I was expecting more divisiveness along racial or ethnic lines in this district, and instead what I found was a beautifully integrated community that seemed to think I was strange for even remarking about it. Literally everything in the community reflects this, whether it is business, population, or even the street signs. The trend was especially prevalent in all of the schools I visited, and I visited schools all over the school district to avoid selection bias. While I was expecting at least some segregation based on cultural differences, I saw none. Even the older children literally did not seem to realize that race as a concept existed. I think part of the reason for this may be the school policies enacted in the district. After visiting the school administration building, which I consider an outstanding community asset in itself, I learned that due to the small size of the school district, parents may enroll their children in any school regardless of where their residence is in that district. After spending a day in the Mapleton School District, I was able to identify two other outstanding assets besides the school administration building available to individuals living there. The second asset was the local library, located on the same campus as the Skyview campus I showed you before. This library acts as both a common area and a community resource. The library acts as a community resource because individuals may utilize the library computers with connected printers to access the internet, apply for benefits, seek employment, and print resumes. According to the library manager, Kathy Totten, librarians often provide assistance for individuals in resume writing and navigating public transport. Furthermore, the library acts as a common area for both adults and children. According to Ms. Totten, there is an active after-school reading program available daily. There's also a large comic book collection available for children to read as they hang out after school. Another outstanding community resource is the Adams County Human Services Center. This center provides assistance in applying for financial aid for needy families, food stamps, and other government benefits. Furthermore, it also coordinates with several nonprofit organizations and employers to provide employment for applicants seeking jobs. The Human Services Center is extremely large, well-staffed, and technologically advanced. Even on a weekday afternoon, the building seemed nearly empty and the staff was never overwhelmed by client volume. However, this is not to say that the community is without its challenges. The community seemed saturated with businesses that sell unhealthy food and drinks, with few healthy alternatives or fresh produce options available. This was as apparent for Achieve Academy, the most affluent area I visited, with a Christian daycare center across the street and churches surrounding it, which still had a liquor store 1 block away, as it was for the school in the poorest area I visited, Welby Elementary School, which is next door to a mobile home park, and right across the street from this liquor store right here, the biggest one I found in the district. Everywhere I went in this district, I found unhealthy fast food restaurants, some of which were right next to the kidney dialysis centers that the customers would probably need in the future after developing diabetes from eating there. The only place I found in the district after driving around for 7 hours that sold fresh produce was this single Walmart. After researching the employment statistics provided by the school district, I believe that this is probably not due to impoverished population. As the unemployment rate is only 3.8% and the average personal income is $35,385 per year, I believe that most people can afford to consume more expensive but healthier food or drink should it become available. Unfortunately, this prosperity is fairly recent, as only 4 years ago the unemployment rate was 8%. Thus, the demand for fresh groceries probably didn't exist in this area until recently, and now that it does, it hasn't been met. This is a quickly changing school district that hasn't yet caught up with its own newfound prosperity. There's a lot of new construction, and the problem of not having a grocery store could and should be addressed by local government and business. After all, there is plenty of open space to build on, especially in the north part of the school district.